Welcome to the 3 Retro Movie Geeks podcast with me, your host, Rob, the Truffle Shuffle Taylor.
And me, Paul, Save Cocktail Constable.
And Scott, I ain't got time to bleed with them.
And we're discussing movies from the 80s and the 90s.
With some absolute classics and some not so well known classics.
From the greatest cinema era ever.
I know I can beat him.
Why do you want to fight again?
Let's just say it's something I believe in.
Drago averages 1,850 pounds. Whatever he hits, he destroys.
You were a great fighter, no doubt about that. But look, we gotta face the facts, too. You don't want to believe it, but maybe the show is over.
And that's easy for you to say. You're still on top.
Let's face it, we gotta change sometime.
I don't want to change. I like who I am.
I like who you are, too, but look at that, you know?
Heavyweight world.
He's really putting on a show, man. Get out of there!
You can't do no more out there. You gotta fight him. He's killing you. I gotta stop this thing.
I'm gonna stop this fight. No matter what.
The referee tries to step in and he's thrown across the ring. Throw him down! Throw him down! Throw him damn down!
Guys.
You can't win!
I must break you.
Two worlds collide, rival nations. It's a primitive clash, venting years of frustration. Welcome to Moscow, and welcome to film number 33. This is Rocky 4. Joining me in the ring for this one are a couple of old fighters. In the red corner, weighing in at 185 pounds, the Didcot Destroyer. It's Scott. Let's hope he hasn't got time to bleed with them. Hi, Scott.
Hi.
And facing him, in the blue corner, weighing in at 160 pounds, making his debut on the podcast, the Aberdonian Stallion, it's Richie. Throw the damn towel twine.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome, Rich.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Good. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Obviously, we've got no Paul for this one, so Rich, you are standing in for Paul with your boxing knowledge, so I thought this would be a good addition.
Thanks very much. I'm petrified of getting cancelled.
Don't worry, there's 2 people who listen to us, so one of them won't cancel us.
Yeah, and the other one's my mum, so it's fine. So no Paul. Paul is he's marathon training actually.
He is marathon training.
So he's running.
He's doing well. He's getting outside now. So
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
good to hear.
so he's running today. Unfortunately, he can't make it. Yeah. So Rich, brief introduction. You I've known you for a few years now, and I know you like your boxing. But what other films are you into from the old days?
From the old days, you asked me earlier what are your best 80s movies. I looked through and a lot weren't from the 80s actually.
Right,
Is that
okay.
a bad thing to say
That's
on this
right.
podcast?
That's all right. We're
Sorry about that.
Cancelled.
Get someone else in. Jaws is probably one of my all-time
Oh, we've done that one. We've done Jaws.
favourites. Jaws, Jurassic Park.
Cool.
Nice.
My all-time favourite. Yeah.
Interstellar.
Ooh.
Cool.
Rob, is Paul finished watching that?
No, he's still watching that.
Still watching that. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Taking him a few months.
And I'd probably go Truman Show.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I like
5 or
that.
6.
That's a good film, isn't it? Nice variation there.
Yeah. If we go in 80s, The Thing. I like that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
cool.
I did watch that at Halloween. I watched that at Halloween, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like The Thing. We need to do that one. We keep mentioning The Thing, don't we?
As every film we bring up, we need to do. Yeah, we'll get there eventually.
Cool. Have you been watching anything recently, Scott?
No. Invincible. And this is nothing to do with 80s. So Invincible on Amazon Prime. I'm loving that. It's an animated superhero. Gruesome, violent as well. I'm watching that. Reacher. I don't know if anyone's a fan of Jack Reacher series. Again on Amazon. I'm watching those two. And since Netflix has come taken over WWE, I've been watching a lot of the WWE stuff. But I haven't really caught up on many movies lately. Did you go and see Captain America, or did I say that last time? No, I didn't.
No, you haven't. No.
Captain America: Brave New World. Yeah, it was alright.
Cool.
Just alright.
All changed, isn't it? Is it a whole new, different Captain America now?
Different Captain America. Yeah.
Cool.
So, but not much on the 80s front, unfortunately.
No. I've been going through the Batman trilogy recently with Christian Bale.
That trilogy, okay.
Yeah.
The Bale
You've been watching
trilogy,
that with
the
it?
Nolan trilogy.
Yeah, came around the other day. I watched a.
Took me a while.
I watched a film about a fridge that went up in space. Yeah, it was a sci-fi chiller.
Oh Jesus! Oh God, yeah, I forgot about these.
I do these brilliant jokes, which is that. And I watched a 1965 American musical drama that was like with Julie Andrews in. It was set and it was like filmed in the Austrian Alps. You know that, yeah. Go on. But there was some cows in it, and they had the neurovirus. But the hills were alive with the sound of music. Welcome, Rich. Here we go. This is the fun we have on this show. These are the kind of laughs we have, mate. This is the kind of laughs we have. So, Richard, you're we got you on because you're a big Rocky fan, obviously, and you coach boxing. Is that right?
I have done.
Right.
I have done. I did my ABA boxing.
Cool. Excellent.
Qualification about 15 years ago. So in various forms and guises over the years, yeah.
Nice.
It's not my main vocation, I would say, but...
So you'll be good to talk to about the fighting scenes in this film.
Yeah, I do. It does ruin it a little bit because you start looking at it from a technical standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then,
Yeah, so that'd be
There's
interesting.
quite a bit to be said for that, I think.
Yeah. Because I just think it was, I don't see anything
it was
wrong
a real
with it.
fight, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was real,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Cool, so we'll get to the boxing bit in a minute. But first of all, we'll play our feature, Guess the Film. Guess the film. Guess the film. Kidding it, eh? This is sort of a technology we have on this show. Right, okay. So, Rich, if you're new to this, these points go on to your quiz score at the end of the podcast. So I'm going to give 5 clues for what film I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
If you get it right on your first one, you get 5 points. If you get it right on the second guess, 4 points, so on and so on. Clues get easier as it goes on. So for a bit of fun, just shout out the film if you know it. For 5 points, a 1990 rom-com directed by Gary Marshall.
I'm only going to... No, I'm not.
Okay.
No. I was going to guess, but it's not 1990.
4 points. For 4 points. At the time of release, this was the 5th highest grossing film of all time, behind E.T., Star Wars, Indiana Jones and Jaws.
1990s rom-com. 5th highest grossing of all time.
After those films I just mentioned.
Notting Hill.
Good guess. Incorrect.
1990. Nope.
No, okay.
Not anything.
For 3 points, you might get it with this, okay, so get ready. The title is based on a 1964 song. Thought you might have got that one. 60s song. No? Okay, for 2 points. For 2 points.
Thinking.
The 2 main characters are called Edward Lewis and Vivian Ward. I reckon a lot of ladies are going to be screaming the answer out to this one.
Oh, Christ, my glasses.
These glasses come off. No?
Struggling here, Rob.
Okay, for 1 point.
Is you going to take the time?
Rom-coms. Yeah. Rom-coms aren't my jam.
For 1 point. Okay, now. The song I mentioned earlier is sung by Roy Orbison. And the film started.
Pretty Woman.
Pretty Woman. Yeah, it's Pretty Woman.
I got a point!
You got a point. Well done.
Well done, Scott. I forgot the rule there about pressing the buzzer.
No,
as
you
well.
did,
That's not really.
I did say don't press the buzzers actually.
All right.
So,
Calm down, mate. Well, you got a fight!
Yeah, so 1 point. Well done. Right, Rocky 4. Let's talk a bit about Rocky 4 then. That's what we're here for.
Who goes first?
Written by Sly.
Yes.
comes after Rocky 1, 2 and 3.
It does,
I believe.
yeah. We're not wrong so far.
Or Rocky Iv, I call it.
Rocky Iv. I love this is my favourite Rocky. It is.
Is it your right? Okay.
I don't know what it is about it. The music, the 30 minutes of training montage, the 80s vibe rather than a bit more 70s.
Yeah. Yes.
I just think this is the one I grew up with. This is the one I always favoured to, always went to.
Yeah.
And loved the most.
Rich, your favourite Rocky?
Used to be, and then I think when I got a bit more into film as I got older, I rewatched Rocky 1, and I thought as just a film in its own right.
Yeah.
I thought
it does change, doesn't it, with films? Like the older you get, you change films.
Oh yeah, and if it doesn't, then you're not thinking about them correctly. I don't think.
Rocky 1, it seems so old now, doesn't it? I know it's 70s.
Yeah, just eating all those eggs straight out the fridge. I could never quite.
But after Rocky 1, it's just him walking about the docks, sort of go, hey everybody, how you doing? Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was the man of the neighbourhood, the debt collector.
Yeah,
had a nice side to him.
Yeah,
Bounce that tennis ball around, didn't he? Walking around the docks with his fingerless gloves.
Yeah. It was slow, Rocky, but compared to Rocky 4, this is like Rocky 4 very quick.
This is just this is a Rocky film or an action film, disguised as a Rocky film, really.
Yeah.
Effectively, it's got lots of vibes of Cold War, East versus West, Russia versus America.
Yeah.
They're effectively two superhuman soldiers fighting against each other. It's almost gladiatorial, if you know what I mean.
I think he almost peaked Stallone with knowing what works for that audience.
Yeah.
He had the ultimate villain.
Yeah.
Rocky, I think, was sort of in his prime in this. I think this looks his best sort of physical condition.
Right, okay. I was going to say, does he reckon? Yeah, okay.
I think he knows what works.
End of 3 and 4, he is like he is prime
He's
Rocky.
In his groove, isn't he?
See, Creed looked amazing. The first and second one, I thought he was looking good in those.
In Creed?
Yeah. And I know
Creed looks good in this.
Yeah.
He's stacked in this.
He's an ex-professional athlete. I'm sure you've been through that before, haven't you?
Right,
He's ex-professional
He was
athlete.
an American football player, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was a pro at the time.
Linebacker, yeah.
And you can tell that from when they do the one of the training montages when Rocky's running with Creed.
And after all this, he went into the jungle to kill the Predator as well, didn't he?
He's had quite a career.
Yeah, so he's done well. Paulie is in this film. Burt Young.
I know what you're going to say.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to say how old he was in this. He's mine and Rich's age in this.
Right.
45. Well, I'm basically 45. You're 45.
3 weeks away. Yeah, nearly there.
He looked about 65.
Late 50s, early 60s, yeah.
Carl Weathers was 37 in this.
Right.
Dolph Lundgren was 28. We talked about what films we liked. This was the highest grossing Rocky films. So number 4. It went 4, 3, then 1.
Right. Okay.
That would make sense a little bit, because, like I said, he would have got into his groove by then. Would have built the audience from 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
5. There was a big jump to 5, wasn't there? I think in their release date.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen the 5th one.
I don't like it.
No.
He takes it to the street.
How does he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I need to watch that.
Rocky Balboa comes back, and that one. I like that one
Agreed.
as well.
Right. Okay.
They're like bookends 1 and 6.
Right.
Like similar style.
Right. Okay. We talked about the. Did you mention the montages earlier?
Yeah. So I was listening to a book recently, an audiobook called Last Action Heroes, and it's basically telling the story of the 80s action heroes and how they kind of came to be and blah blah blah. So you had Stallone, Arnie, obviously the Titans. Then you had Van Damme, Dolph Lundgren, I can't remember them all now, Jackie Chan, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, and there's one more.
It's quite a lot, Scott.
There's one more.
Yeah.
There's one more in that lot. I can't remember. I said Van Damme, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said Chuck Norris. Did I say Bruce Lee or Bruce Willis? I mean Bruce Willis.
You said Bruce Lee.
You said Bruce Lee.
Willis would be the new one.
They're the same person, aren't they? Bruce Willis.
Well, they're both called Bruce.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Both wear a white vest.
Where was this going?
They're pretty hard.
Where
was
Bruce Willis? I don't know about that.
No.
I'll take Bruce Lee, I think.
Yeah.
The story of how this movie came to pass, Rocky, Stallone kind of making his big break and wanting to sell his script, but not taking no for an answer when it comes to him starring in it. In fact, he took a massive pay cut in order to star in it, and then obviously got his fame and accreditation from that.
Didn't he sell his dog, Scott?
Sold his dog, yeah. Sold his dog. So he sold his dog.
How much did you get for his dog?
Well, he bought it back later on.
Was that the dog in the first film?
And it is the same dog, yeah.
Right, okay.
So he believed in this character and this script so much that he, again, like, he was offered, say, I don't know, let's say equivalent of like 30 million for it. Yeah. He's like, no, wait, so if we can buy it off you and we can portray whoever we want. I said, no, this is really me. I've wrote it for me. So I think the offers went up, and then oh, fine, we'll give you like 300,000, like 10%
for his dog,
or even less than 10% of the script.
Sorry. Okay.
All this time he was skint, living in Hell's Kitchen in New York. Skint,
right? Okay.
Skint, like public libraries to keep warm.
Yeah.
And he sold his dog for money for food.
Oh.
Not that the dog wasn't being used as food. But he did bring it back. He did buy the dog back later on.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And it is the same dog, Butkus.
That's it.
I was going somewhere with this.
No, but okay.
I was going somewhere with this story, but basically, yeah.
Well, I mentioned montage at the start of this.
Montage.
That was it. Yes. Yeah.
So they said in that this film was again one of the like 30% or 30 minutes. Of
I got it here. 31.9% of montage was this film,
and I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah. But who doesn't love a montage?
This is the greatest montage of all time. If you
Second half of this film was 50% montage.
Right.
Do you know that? I watched it back
That's
the other
why it's
night.
so good.
Yeah,
because I was coming on this, and I think it was a little bit sneaky in some of this Stallone, because I've made a note. First 7 minutes of the film is a recap of the Clubber Lang fight.
Yeah. And it's only an hour and a half long. The film was,
and it's the same
Yeah.
footage.
Yeah.
So you know they do that in TV. When they have a filler episode, they have to cut down costs or something.
Recently on Rocky,
and the driving scene where he goes out for a drive.
Yeah,
to,
that's it.
They recap a lot of it. It's like a callback to all the previous films.
I played that in my car yesterday. I went to pick up
on the way here.
I went to pick up my daughter from her friends, and
Did you feel badass?
I played that song. I had my hand over the steering wheel like that. And I kept looking in the mirror and
sighing.
Yeah.
But you know what? When he's driving, it's showing what he's thinking about, isn't he? He's thinking about Adrian, he's thinking about Drago and Creed dying and all those deep thoughts. But I just think nowadays, if I was doing that nowadays, I'd be driving and then I'd be thinking, I've got to get milk, eggs, bread. What else haven't I done?
The missus had texted me to pick up some else from the shop. Yeah.
I'm putting Drago.
Yeah.
So I actually watched 2 versions of this last night.
Oh, okay.
There's 2. There's Rocky versus Drago.
Right.
You ever heard of that? So it was out a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was a recut. Lots of extra footage, and then it's a recut of it.
Right.
It's a much more serious tone than the cut that I was used to. Like a lot of bits were missing.
Okay.
The bit with the robot and Paulie's birthday, gone.
Yes, I heard that they cut the robot.
Cut the robot.
What was that about, Scott?
I don't know. I think this was like, as I remember, I think when it came out, Slides having an interview saying it was just like, this is a definitive version, so we didn't have to worry about studios and distribution rights and all that. He could make his definitive version, and it's called Rocky versus Drago.
Do you know why the robot was in it?
No.
I read that Sly had an autistic son, and the robot was used for his son as a way of coping or something. And I guess he thought, this is cool, it's helped my son, I'm going to put it in the film.
Yeah.
So he put it in
So
the film.
light up bits like that would just cut straight from the movie, and some other darker bits, I think, it's more serious tone to it, were put in. And watching it again, like some bits that I remember, lines were moved around, or like different takes of the same scene were used.
Right.
It was really odd watching that. And then I watched the cut that I was used to.
Right.
It was interesting, like watching the 2 different variations, as it were.
Cool.
That robot, I remember it now.
Yeah.
I went to Centre Parks about 2 years ago, and they had robots just like that, serving us in a restaurant.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, and I thought I'd landed in the future, but straight away, it came over to our table.
Happy birthday, Polly.
Happy birthday, Polly.
You'd have liked it because they had programmed it. One was Lee and one was Noel. So then I thought of you, and I thought of
Excellent,
Steve.
yeah, brilliant.
And but the main thing I thought of well, this is Rocky 4.
Yeah, that's cool.
From the party.
That is cool,
But
yeah.
it had taken 30 odd
Yeah.
years for that to be happening.
That was probably really futuristic, wasn't it?
Back then it was.
85 where it was. Just one other thing on how well it's filmed, and it was the highest grossing sports film ever until The Blind Side came out in 2009.
Blind Side. Which is, I can't even remember, is that a baseball?
I don't know. I didn't really look it up. 2009 anyway. Yes, yeah. So shall we get in the ring and go through the scenes of Rocky 4? Right, let's go through.
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding. Okay, so the start, Rocky 4.
Well, depending on which cut you watch.
Yes, let's go with the original cut.
Okay.
Again, doesn't it start with the gloves?
Yes.
Yeah.
The big two big
Russia.
and Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the
playing.
Tiger, yeah.
Which in the cut that was the completely different beginning. None of that.
Right.
And Eye of the Tiger was at the end.
Right. Okay.
Very weird, and it recapped the Club of Lang, like the last 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Scott. My last one was Rocky v Drago.
Oh, so you watched that
It
one?
was the cut, yeah.
Right, okay.
It starts off with the statue.
Right. Okay.
He goes up to the statue. I think he throws him his
okay.
motorbike helmet at the statue.
So I watched a different one again. See, so
And I
So
thought,
yeah, the classic cut then is the two Russia versus America.
plaster of
Remember it
Paris
now.
gloves
Remember it
break.
now,
Yeah. Freeze frame. I think we have two freeze frames in about the first couple of minutes, and then we go to the birthday party, which we just mentioned. Paulie's birthday party. Bit of a depressing birthday party, wasn't it?
Well, it's his closest friend.
What's your thoughts on Paulie? He's a bit of a lazy slob?
Yeah, and if you remember him from 1 and 2 and even 3, he gets really mad and envious and
Yeah.
he's really jealous, isn't he?
it comes later on. He
Yeah.
said like a lot of people would have got rid of me, but you showed me respect.
Yeah.
And you kept me on.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is. But
he's
why not?
he's waiting for his present. He thinks it's a sports car or something,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Is it parked outside?" And all of a sudden, round the corner comes the robot.
Is the robot a name? I don't think.
It's
I know it reprograms it to Polly.
well, Seiko is what I don't know if it's what it's called in real life, SICO.
Oh.
But yeah, he changes it to his sex robot later on.
Cancelled.
Changes the voice and she worships him. Yeah, it's she. I say she.
Pack your toothbrush. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times.
Because it starts off speaking like a speaking spell, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He comes in, he changes the voice. He soon changed that. We get we know it's an anniversary. Sorry, if I can speak.
So a week
anniversary.
before the anniversary.
Yeah.
Again, that bit was cut in this.
Right. Yeah.
Completely cut.
He comes in with his cake, doesn't even on the bed, just to show that. I guess to show that they're.
To show he's a loving husband as well as a fighter.
Yeah.
Again, all of that cut in this. It's like get rid of that soppy crap.
We want fights.
And Apollo's round, isn't he?
No, not yet.
Oh, he's okay. He's inviting him round.
Yeah,
later
it's
on,
coming up.
so
Yeah.
that's it, yeah.
We get
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Drago arrives in the USA.
That's it, yeah.
So was this a big thing? Then?
Apollo's in his pool playing with his dogs.
Yeah.
And he sees it on the TV.
So in the 80s, if you've got a pool, you're rich. If you've got a TV by the side, you're really rich.
You're mega rich, aren't
But
you?
all he needed was the TV to be floating on an inflatable on the pool to be super rich, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's throwing the ball with the dogs.
Yeah.
And then it comes on TV, doesn't it?
Today, the Soviet Union has officially entered professional boxing. My husband and great undefeated heavyweight world amateur champion, Captain Ivan Drago, has come here with his trainers to America to compete as an international sportsman and ambassador of goodwill.
And he's fuming, isn't he? That this guy's coming over and wants to fight, wants to beat Rocky.
Doesn't he?
Yeah. His face, he is fuming. He throws the ball, he's out the pool, and then
And straight over.
Yeah,
Rocky.
he brings him. And he's like round that. I reckon he's round there with his trunks on still. It was that.
Still calls him Stallion, doesn't he?
Stallion. Yeah, he keeps calling him Stallion. Yeah.
I'd like to. I don't know. Were they really best mates at that point?
Yeah.
Do you reckon? Yeah. Do you think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They were all really good friends.
Right.
I would have liked. If I come round here and I called you, I don't know. I'd just probably
You
call
can call
you.
me Stallion if you want. Good morning, ladies.
You know,
Most people bloody do.
I
you know
think I
what I mean?
might now.
Yeah, most people bloody do around here. You know what I mean? Don't we have the press conference, this when they mentioned Drago wanting to fight. Yeah, of course, that's on the TV, isn't it?
Yeah, just on the news report.
Yeah.
You know. And back then, remember, you got the whole, again, East versus West. That's kind of what it's like now with Russia.
Cornwall versus Norwich. Love it.
Not quite.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You keep making me lose my train of thought.
Plus,
the Iron Curtain.
Plus, that's a city and a county. So I got. Well, carry on.
We've got like the internet now and worldwide news, so we would know a little bit more about Russia.
Yeah.
They wouldn't know anything about any Russian athletes or anything. Just the Olympics, really.
Yeah.
In which he is an Olympic gold medalist, I believe. Drago is an amateur world champion.
He can punch. Well, an average boxer can punch 700 pounds per square inch. Is this right?
Yep.
But he can do 1,850,
which goes up with training.
Right, does it?
It goes up to 2,150. I think.
Okay.
He knows his numbers.
Oh, that could have been a quiz
I know
question.
the steps as well.
Right.
1850, 1990, 2045.
That's a good
You said
question.
he had a pornographic.
Photographic memory. Yeah. So he's pretty hard then, this Drago geezer, isn't
Yes.
he?
Oh, and it's implied that he's the doping as well.
Yeah. And whatever he hits, he destroys.
Whatever. Yeah.
Freeze frame number 3 comes in.
So that's 3 times as hard as the average heavyweight boxer.
Yeah.
He punches 3 times as hard.
He looks amazing.
If that was real, if someone could punch 3 times as hard as any other boxer, they would dominate, absolutely dominate.
And would it be over in the second round like it is coming up? It would be that quick.
Probably.
Probably the first right-hand lands.
Deontay Wilder, which do you know who Deontay Wilder is? The bronze bomber? Just say no.
No. Well, it's okay, just a quick brief spell on my boxing. I used to like boxing in the old days. Frank Bruno. Think of another one quickly.
Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson, that's it, yeah.
There you go.
Nigel Benn, that sort of thing. And I used to watch it, but then once you had to pay for it, I used not to sound cheap, but I stopped. I didn't enjoy it that much to watch it. So,
I'm a fan of heavyweight.
So you two, you're the boxing
I'd
experts.
pay for heavyweight boxing.
You pay for it, yeah.
But that's about it. But because the action can end like that with one punch.
Yeah.
And Deontay Wilder is known as a knockout artist, and he can then punch fights like that, or he could.
So what was it? PSIB?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Yeah,
they don't really do that in real life. That was just for the cameras and the story.
Yeah. And a lot of it isn't just about that. It's about timing,
right?
As well, and how accurate you are in certain spots.
What can you score in those things at the fair? Dangle down.
The duck thing when you have to get the hoop down the duck.
How many ducks do you get?
I haven't done one of them in years.
No.
You and I did one on your brother's stag.
In Bournemouth, yeah. I probably beat it, didn't I?
I was teaching you how to play.
And you did, yeah. Funny enough, we went on holiday last year, they had one, and I was telling Freddie that Scott told me you got to not just use your arm, you use your body. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was just bouncing into my body.
Was it? 1 million.
Yeah, I got 1 million and
broke it.
Yeah, I broke it, yeah.
But it's memories like that. I remember going away and we went on this amazing trip, me and a friend. We went to the Great Wall of China.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right. And my main memory of the trip is him trying to hit a punch bag.
Right, okay.
As a layman. And he hit it. He decided to hit it.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom of the wrist first.
Right.
And it was filled. It wasn't a soft bag. It was like rock hard.
Yeah.
And he just hit it, and his hands sort of gone to mush. Yeah. And wow, that was a good day, wasn't it? The Great Wall of China. And I said, but that was my.
Who was a friend? Let's give him a shout out. Who was it?
Al. Big Al from Bath, currently residing in America.
There we go.
Nice.
Okay, so Apollo wants to fight Drago now, doesn't he?
Yes.
So what happened? Did he just say, Rocky, no, I want to have a go on him?
He basically jumped the lines and
yeah.
challenged him. Exhibition,
yeah.
Just to kind of teach him a lesson, basically. You can't just come over here and...
Yeah, he was fuming, wasn't he? Yeah.
Us versus them,
yeah.
he says.
Yeah. The robot's changed its voice to a sexy voice. We get that now.
Thanks, hon.
You're welcome.
It's a nice song.
It's my favorite. You're the greatest. See you, sport.
See you.
Oh, Paulie, who taught her to talk like that?
She loves me.
Oh.
And then it walks off with the song Double or Nothing by Kenny Loggins and Gladys Knight. And I've started to play that recently. I'm enjoying that one. Rocky thinks that Creed wants to fight to prove himself rather than fight Drago, doesn't he? Creed wants to fight for him. So he's a bit concerned, isn't he, old Rocky?
I think that's a great scene, actually.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's when you realise that
They are friends.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a popcorn fight movie and all of that, but I think Rocky Stallone.
Yeah.
I think he's really smart in what he speaks about to do with aging.
Yeah.
As we're all having to bring face up
We
to.
can't do that anymore.
It's like now someone saying to us, "Do you want to go clubbing?" It's like, yeah, I'll go clubbing.
You'd be out for the next month.
Yes.
If I can come home about 11.
Yeah.
Or maybe a bit before because the last bus is 1:45.
Before the club opens. Yeah, so he's a bit concerned about him, but it goes ahead and we get a press conference, don't we?
Yeah.
Starts off all jovial and then Creed.
Yeah.
Amps up.
Creed starts to be a bit of a... Is he being a bit of a dick or is he...
He's selling. He's promoting.
Is it showman's? Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to promote it.
Because at the end he sort of says, "Oh, how do I do?" And he's like, yeah.
He based Apollo on Muhammad Ali.
Right, okay.
He said it was very thinly veiled sort of character.
Right, okay. Because the Russians, they're being nice, they're saying everything, and they say, "Oh, we're all respected in our country." But Bridget Nielsen's character, Ludmilla,
Yeah, Ludmilla.
22 she was in this, by the way, Bridget Nielsen. Yeah, she says something like, "You're respected in our country, that's why it'll be good to beat you."
Yeah,
and then that's when he's
whoa,
like, yeah.
whoa.
But she's not going to say we're going to fight and we're going to lose. So.
Well, yeah, every competitor must come into a fight saying that they're going to win.
But he didn't like that, did he?
No, he didn't like that.
No.
Because that's his arrogance.
Yeah, bit of pushing.
Bit of argy-bargy.
And then freeze frame number 4 is when Drago knocks over the cardboard cut out of Creed. We go straight to the fight. No training, nothing.
No, I forgot how sudden that
straight to
was.
Vegas.
Yeah, that's it. Straight to Vegas.
Yeah, it's all quite cool, this film. It's sort of like scene straight into it, scene straight into it.
No messing around.
Quite fast paced, isn't it, this one?
No messing around on it.
You've been over to Vegas
once. Yeah. I'm glad I went, but I wouldn't go back again. It's just not for me.
Lots of
personally.
Yeah. What, the gambling side? Or just
it was just the excess.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone's there for excess. So we actually took a tour to Hoover Dam and Lake Mead, and you see where Lake Mead's level was and where it's down to, and you're like, oh, so over the course of the last 10, 20 years, we're getting political now, eco-political, the lake level has dropped so much and it's continued to fall, and it's just like, well, then eventually it's going to dry up, surely, you know. And Las Vegas means the meadows, because when the Indians found that area, it was or they kind of lived that area, they called it the meadows because it was lush and green everywhere, and now it's just a desert, and that's because of man-made kind of just excess. So that's why I was like, oh, I'm not going to contribute to that. But I'm glad I did go, and I would recommend anyone to go.
Yeah.
But gambling's not my side.
I thought you were just going to say because there's lots of gambling and booze, but that was quite in depth. So
yeah, and that's I had a crisis of conscience.
We sound intellectual, don't we?
Not heard that angle before, actually.
Good.
I went there to watch boxing a few times.
And gamble a bit.
Yeah.
I did shoot a 50 cal sniper rifle.
Oh, you?
And that was awesome.
Nice. I haven't been. I've been to Butlins. Same thing, isn't it? Same thing.
Yeah, why not?
Bognor Regis.
Have you heard of Canelo? Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo Alvarez.
No.
He's one of the
great pound for pound boxer at the moment.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, he's managed to see him.
Right. Okay.
Out there and get tickets on the day.
Really?
Of the fight. Yeah, I went out there with my wife, and I managed to say, "Do you mind?
Watch a boxing match."
Yeah, but by the way, boxing's on this weekend. Do you mind?
Well played.
And I got a ticket.
And I managed to get down there and get a ticket probably about an hour before.
Wow.
The undercard started.
But it's cool, isn't it? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, she didn't go. She stayed in. She said, "Do you mind?" She said, "I'll just stay here and get room service."
That's all right, isn't it?
So, and it was in the same. It was in the same hotel. It was in the Mandalay Bay. So she seemed really happy.
No, that's all right. Both had a good time, and she was happy. You were happy.
Yeah, perfect. Canelo v Miguel Cotto that day. Great day.
Good. It's good. I don't think I've ever seen a boxing match in my life.
No, I can't say I have, actually. Not just on TV.
No. Fight. We go to the fight.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool.
The entrance, he's Drago is the fish out of water. He's there, complete stranger in a strange land.
Don't know what's going on, does he? All this
and they would have none of that in Russia. So
no,
this would be just, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, it's like it's typical American, the right thing to say, but it's all bigged up, isn't it? You know,
he comes down from underground, doesn't he?
Yeah,
so he's pitched in darkness.
Yeah,
and he's like some monster.
Yeah,
comes up from beneath the floor.
He's treated like
what's
so.
going on
Wow.
here? Yeah. Creed saying, I feel like I can eat nails, Stallion. And Stallion's like, I've never tried snails. Come on.
Yeah, that bit's not in the.
Yeah. I feel like I can eat nails. That Stallion thinks he said snails. You missed that bit.
Well, I watched both episodes, both
Yeah.
cuts, and that's not in the weirdly.
Creed
It's a nice little bit that, you know, he said I would have postponed it for 2 weeks.
Yes.
And he's just like, well, what if someone comes in and beats him, and then what does that leave me?
Yeah.
All story, I think, important story bits, and I'm really confused as to why that bit in particular was cut out.
Yeah. The wives meet, all nice
Yes.
and nice. It was good of her. She went up and shook her hands. I hope we can be friends.
After all, they're not soldiers.
Yeah.
They're sportsmen, not soldiers.
Yeah, I thought that was quite a nice scene.
Fake.
Then we get Mr. James Brown in the intro. Yes. This is funny because when Creed comes on, he's like prancing around, isn't he? With his hat on and his whatever outfit he's got on. But what an entrance!
Yeah, he's always done that in the other films as well.
Showman, yeah.
George Washington, he's a bit dressed up as like one.
That's it. Yeah.
But it's rubbing the American values into the Russians' face again. Totally East versus West.
Yeah, because he comes in, he punches that thing behind him, which is supposed to be a bull, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Drago's nickname is a bull, and he hits it once, hits it twice, and it falls apart. So that's him showing.
See, I never got that. Yeah. I never knew his nickname was a bull. I knew his nickname was Siberian Express.
Yes.
But never a bull. I never heard that.
What about Creed's nicknames? Have you got?
I got a couple.
Do you know them? I've got them right down here.
The Count of Monte Fisto.
Oh. Yeah, the Count of Monte Fisto sounds a little bit wrong.
Yeah. The King of Sting.
King of Sting.
Yeah. 2 more.
I got it on here.
I think there's 2 more. Go on.
Well, like your name, it's not the Didcot Destroyer, it's the Dancing Destroyer.
The Dark, because I thought Dark Destroyer, but that's Nigel Benn, isn't it?
Nigel Benn, yeah. So, did you like my Didcot Destroyer? My intro?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
If anybody listening knows where Didcot is, of course.
Yes. Yeah, I've noticed a mistake as well when I was watching this. I don't know if it's in the cuts you watch. He's in the ring and he's going, I want you. I want
his
you.
His gloves are off.
There's no gloves. He hasn't got his gloves on.
He's pointing at the guy and there's no gloves on. It's just a brief split second.
Yeah, and I noticed that last night. Now,
point.
I'm not into boxing, I don't know much about boxing, but I'm guessing it takes a long time to get your gloves on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the hand wrapping thing takes ages. Did he have wraps on?
No. It was completely...
Oh, well.
But before, the scene, 20 minutes before, he was
doing
putting
the
them
hand
on.
wraps.
Right.
So it's a complete faux pas there.
So hand wraps, that takes ages to do. There's layers and layers of tape and gauze and then they have to get taped up and then they have to get signed off.
Right.
By one of the commissioners to make sure there's nothing in there.
Yeah, and you've got lead weight in there.
Sorry, then it's... Yeah, exactly. And then it glove on, that gets taped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And he didn't, he was just pointing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Whoops. And he comes in and goes, it's time to go to school, doesn't he? And then he goes, you will lose.
You will lose.
And he goes to whack his gloves down like give a... I don't know, is it shake hands in the boxing style?
Move today.
Move, no. I'll be thinking shit.
Yeah, well, he was.
Well, he thought it was going to be easy, didn't he? He thought he was going to win.
Yeah, you know, like I said, an Olympic gold medalist versus an ex-world champion.
Yeah.
The fight should be one-sided.
It starts off well, I don't know. So boxing styles then. Rich, come to you on this one.
So he starts off, Apollo, loads of movement. Well, I'd say lateral movement, lots of movement around the ring. He's really loose, really fast. And at that point, Drago really does look out of it, doesn't he? He's really stiff. He's got low hands. His chin's right in the air, and it looks levels and levels apart. And then gradually, though, you start to realise that Apollo's not actually hurting him.
No.
And he starts to cut the ring off a bit more, doesn't he? Gets a bit closer. They're thinking,
his corner shouts something, and then he just unlocks.
At the end of that first round, he's basically gone, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like we mentioned earlier, he's punching that strong.
Yeah, the corner jumps in and goes, "What's wrong with you guys? It's supposed to be an exhibition.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in exhibition.
No.
Well, it's not supposed to anyway.
No, you're not supposed to kill someone.
No.
that was frightening. The end of that first
rule number
round.
1: don't kill someone in an exhibition. Yeah. Because he was basically saying stop then, and he didn't Sly sort of say you just
Again, different versions. Sly's pleading with him in Rocky vs. Drago, saying, "Don't do this to me."
Yeah.
And he's saying, "Don't you stop this match?"
Yeah, don't throw the towel in. Do not throw the towel in.
Whatever happens.
What would you have done in this point then? If you was
And I think actually in this cut he says, if you're a true friend of mine, you will not stop this fight.
Because you're,
I'll be with you. What would I do? Of course I'd stop it from my friend.
Yes.
But if my friend has pleaded with me,
so
if I know him,
is he not going to speak to you again because you chucked the tower in and you're not going to be friends anymore, or you're going to, you're dead.
Think of his wife and kids.
Yeah,
I still would, but
he didn't think he was going to die.
I'm with you, Scott. I watched this. I got so angry watching it again.
It was like saying throw the tower in.
Seeing him not throw the towel in.
He was just standing there, wasn't he?
Because I was like, that's cornering is so bad. But he was completely out of it.
Yeah.
I got so angry watching it, and part of me was pleading for it to turn out different.
Because I've done that.
I know what's coming, and I'm thinking, please throw the towel in, please do it.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't, and then Stallone has written it so Apollo does that like dying fish on the floor.
Yeah, it's like, very clever.
He flops, and I'm like,
he's fitting on the floor.
That's just absolutely devastating. And I got a bit emotional watching it again. I was like,
you're supposed to,
But the ref comes in and stop it at one point, doesn't he? And he sort of pushes the ref away, and then it's him again.
That's the bad bit.
So can he get done for murder for that? This is my question.
Potentially.
Should technically, yeah.
I just thought that when I was watching it last night. I thought, the ref's telling him to stop.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He would have flown back to Russia, I guess.
Yeah.
Stop the time! It is Drago with the upper hand now. Drago with the left to the midsection. Drago with the left to the hand. Drago with the right hand. Another right. Pull it down!
And I was thinking about this, Rob, because I thought, right, what if it was you?
Yeah.
Right.
I'd have had him straight away.
Every first round.
30 seconds.
But I thought the towel's going in.
Yeah.
And then that kind of, for a few minutes until I got back into the film, it ruined it a little bit again. Because I was thinking, well, so what if he beats Drago? Like, your best mate's dead.
Yeah.
So what would I say to Emma? I go, Emma, sorry about that.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do...
I'm going to go over there and beat him for you.
I'm going to go and win a park run.
Yeah.
Right, and we'll call it quits.
So everything's fine.
Everyone's happy.
Yeah, that's it.
I won a park run.
And we'll do another film.
Jesus. When you put it like that.
Yeah. Where's the doctor? Shouldn't there be a doctor?
Yeah, there should be.
With no doctor, and he's laying there, and he's got his... Has he got his Hugo Boss top on? It's got blood all over it. That's ruined.
Massive sponsorship.
That's ruined.
Was it a white top?
Yeah, don't wear a white top.
When I had red, when I had blue.
Yeah, that's not going to come out, is it? And then we get the.
But it had to be like that, otherwise the rest of the movie wouldn't have the weight that it would have had.
And probably the famous line in the film.
If he dies, he dies.
That's chilling, isn't it?
But we were saying this before we were recording. Drago is like. He's like he's programmed. It's like he's not real. He's just been, what's the word, lobotomized even?
Well, that's
like that.
That's the propaganda of what
it's a Frankenstein. He's
America said about Russian. They were just, all robots and communists.
Yeah. But you're laying there, you're thinking, so is he dead? Is he dead? Next scene, funeral. Straight to it.
Yeah. There was no ambiguity there, was there?
No, straight to funeral.
Oh, I hope he lives. I hope they take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
And he's going to be all right, and he's just going to make a long recovery, but...
different version of it.
Bang.
Yeah, because we like Creed now, don't we? The first one, you didn't really like him because he was a bit cocky, and now you grow to like him as the Rocky film.
The first two is the enemy. Well, even the second one is starting to be...
Yeah.
To turn to the friendship starting to build.
Yeah.
The third one definitely, and the fourth one, they're cemented.
Yeah. So he's dead. And then next scene is...
Announced in the press conference.
You got newspapers and that coming on saying Rocky versus Drago.
Yeah, this cut that Rocky versus Drago had Rocky in the boardroom discussing like why can't I? Like they're basically saying you can't fight him.
Yeah.
It's like not for the belt. We're not going to sanction this. And he basically said, you don't think I can win? He said, well, no, it's not about that. But yeah, it is about that.
Yeah.
So then that's why he has to go to Russia. That's why he has to not for the title. And it's on Christmas Day. He's not getting any money for it. It's unsanctioned.
Why Christmas Day? Bit weird.
Well, technically, does this make Rocky IV a Christmas movie?
Oh yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Why Christmas Day?
Why not?
They ask that in the film.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I think one of the questions from the
And he
press.
just says, "That's what I was told."
Yeah.
She, what's her name? I'll get her name
Adrian.
again. No, Ludmilla.
Just say Bridget.
Bridget is she wants it to be in Russia because she's worried for
Her husband's
his life. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then we go to Adrian and Rocky. She didn't really know about it, did she? Because she gets home and
Yeah, she had no.
Signs it before.
he's not even said to his missus, "Oh, I'm going to go and fight." It's like he does a press conference before he tells
Can you
her.
imagine if you don't come home one night?
Yeah.
The trouble you'd get if you didn't come home.
By the way, Christmas. You're fighting at Christmas. We know we got the family coming round.
You're doing the cooking.
Yeah.
The chicken in.
Will you be back by the evening to do the presents? No, don't be back.
It's
It
so true.
depends on if
so
it's
true.
the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Maybe I can somehow get back.
Yeah. Boxing Day at the best, love. But she shouts like you can't win, doesn't she?
You can't win.
Do you know? My respect for Adrian went up so much in this movie.
Yeah.
And maybe I've missed it sort of growing through the other ones, but she said even if you win, Apollo's
Yeah.
still gone.
Yeah.
And just after that emotional 10 minutes I had,
Yeah.
I was like, Adrian, she's
Yeah.
bang on.
Yeah.
She gets it, and she was almost like the voice of reason in the movie.
Yeah.
And you're going to say the women are right now.
They're going to love
I'm
us.
cancelled.
And then Rocky says Adrian always tells the truth.
And I picked up on that this time around. Never heard about that, but yeah, Adrian always tells the truth.
Right, okay.
But there isn't that line in the cut that I watched. You know, remember when I asked you never to stop being a woman? Please don't ask me to stop being a man. That's how he kind of reasoned it with her.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, fair enough.
So what does he do? He gets in his car and we get a kick-ass montage of him driving No Easy Way Out by Robert Tepper. Cool song, isn't it?
Yeah.
And flashbacks of him with Creed, the Drago fight. And the bit I liked towards the end of the montage was Rocky was falling in one fight.
Yeah.
As if it was him that... So basically, I could die in this fight.
Yeah.
The way of showing it. I thought that's quite clever. So Sly says goodbye to his son. And he goes off to Russia with my favourite song in the film.
You like Burning Heart?
Burning Heart, yeah. What a tune this is.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm going to put this at the start of the podcast.
His body cries stop, but his spirit cries never.
Yeah, nice.
That's a good
Yeah.
I take it
line,
this
isn't
was
it?
made
Yes.
for this film.
It's got to be in it because it's like East versus
The lyrics
West.
are the lyrics are very specific.
Yeah, that's cool. So they go to Russia. Okay, spoiler: none of it was filmed in Russia,
Yeah.
and no one's Russian in the film.
Nope. Well, they can't. They couldn't back then.
Drago's Swedish, Bridget's Danish, and it's filmed in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
There's a YouTuber I follow who goes to all the he loves that film, so he goes to all the places and matches up the shots and stuff like that. And it's in the middle of summer, but he finds it like 20, 30 years later, and even the mountains that he climbs up and stuff. Kind of broke the illusion a little bit.
Yeah.
But still, it was very interesting.
I only just knew this researching for the film. I thought they went to Russia. Of course not.
But yet they did a very good job of it.
Yeah.
We all believe they went to Russia. I mean, what does Russia look like? We don't know.
No.
There might as well be it.
Bit of snow.
Yeah.
Can you remember the depth of the snow though? I was always
when he gets to the
amazed by
thing.
that.
Yeah, because Paulie. Why does Paulie go? He's not a trainer.
He's had him all throughout.
Yeah.
It's just more
Because all he's took
his
with
family.
him is Creed's trainer,
Duke.
Tony. Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, Duke's great.
Yeah, doesn't play much part in the film, but in this film he comes up in a minute, doesn't he? And says that. Well, we'll get to that bit in a minute, but yeah, I liked him.
Plays chess, doesn't he? Plays chess.
Yeah,
He beats the Russian.
Paulie's like, why did you choose this dumb location? You're going to grow reindeer or something.
See, I realised that he's the comic relief character, isn't he? Amongst all the seriousness.
Yeah, Duke says to Rocky when Creed died, part of him died. So I'm with you all the way.
Apollo was like a son.
Yeah. Rocky goes for a run in his leather jacket, no running trainers, just his basically clothes he's travelled in.
No Garmin.
No Garmin. He just comes out and like move his arms a bit like, right, I'll go for a run now in the snow.
It goes off about 1 mile an hour, doesn't he?
Yeah. We get is this when we get the first?
It's the first real montage, yeah.
Yeah, because there's a couple close to each other, isn't there?
Yeah, so this is why there's so much montage in this half of the film.
Yeah.
It's showing old techniques versus modern techniques, East versus West, and the role reversal. We always thought the Americans had the technology and Russians were kind of living in the sticks. Our hero has gone and done to live in the Russian world to really kind of see what Drago goes through and beat him on his own terms, on his own turf, really.
But the training then, Rich, okay, he's got a boxing fight coming up and he's sawing wood, lifting logs, pulling sleighs, chopping trees, right?
He also ran up a hill, ran through a stream, helps lift up a horse and cart,
that fell over,
pulls a sled, does pull-ups from a moving beam, carries a log in the snow and chops a tree. That's in the first half.
Now I'm not into boxing as much as you are, but shouldn't you be doing a little bit of boxing? Bit of sparring or not?
Well, it would be pretty unheard of to not spar before a match like that.
I know you sort of does that a little bit.
I did make a few notes about that. So you're right.
Yeah,
absolutely unheard of, unorthodox. In hindsight, well, he won, but probably saved a few brain cells because they always say that the sparring's the stuff that ultimately degenerates your brain more than anything else. But you're right, it's crazy to go into something.
Did you touch on that though? Like, because
they're not allowed, are they?
Well, like the guy asked, we're supposed to have sparring partners, and said no, we agreed that you're not.
Right. Oh, okay.
And then Paulie was just like, no sparring, and Rocky says, I don't think I need it anymore. The guy is at the end. Towards the end of his career, peak of his career, he knows all he needs to know about sparring. So it's just physical conditioning, pure, brutal, naturalistic, cold winter Russian.
Running in your leather jacket.
In the snow. Yeah. You ever run through snow, deep snow?
Never done
it's
that.
Horrible.
And he looks in his. To me, out of all of the Rockies, this to me looks like peak.
This is why I like it
condition.
so much. Yeah, absolute brutal conditioning.
He's doing the pull-ups from the bar. He's in that black vest.
Yeah,
he looks an absolute unit.
What's that movement? I think Adrian turns up now and gives him a bit of a confidence, and then we get another montage. He does some other things.
Candlesticks.
He's got a beard then, hasn't he, as well? Yeah. He's got like a beard going on.
Yeah.
What's that one when he sort of like does a sit up, but his body's at like some sort of?
I know them as dragon flags.
Oh, is that okay? Yeah. So that's what you just said.
But I've tried them. They're fucking hard.
Yeah.
Really.
I did a sit-up once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably that was peak.
Yeah, I did condition. I did one sit-up. Do you want to feel my?
But there's a no.
Look at that.
There's a theory that that's not actually Stallone doing that because you never see his face in that movement.
Right. Okay.
It could have been a body double.
Right.
And even when he kind of sits up, it's like from an angle you can't see his face. So there's a theory that's not actually him. Anyway, I'm sure it is.
Do you remember the bit where he pulls up rocks into the air in a net?
Yes. Yeah. And then drops them quickly.
Working on his triceps. But every movement he does is matched by a modern version of what Drago's doing.
He's running up a mountain, Drago's on a treadmill.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, okay, these are two ways of getting the same thing, really.
That's great. Yeah, from the train, if you're being a training geek, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's great to see multiple ways of... You
don't
need to spend loads of money on equipment, just go and get some rocks.
He outruns a car as well because the car sort of skids and he outruns it when they're chaperones it. Yeah,
and you had that indoor track that was actually
massive.
It looked like it's just carpet, I think. And there was a part of the scene where the carpet isn't rolled up, and I thought he could trip on that.
I didn't see that.
Oh, it's cancelled.
Look out for that now.
That always looked like heaven to me.
Right.
I was like, what? You get to run around a track. And you hit speedballs on the way round.
But speedballs are for speed. What's that round there for? Because speedballs are for like when you stand under it and do that. I'm doing the movement here.
It's probably where they're supposed to be, but it's on.
He just runs around. I just knock it as I run around.
Well, why wouldn't you? You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I suppose just to get you in the mindset. Yeah.
Anyone worth their salt's gonna.
Yeah, you gotta
that a little hit, aren't they?
Yeah. We go to the fight.
Yeah.
Christmas Day. Christmas Day. Gorbachev's there.
It's supposed to be Gorbachev, isn't it?
Yeah.
Russian president.
He hasn't got the thing on his head. He's actually called David, that guy. Looked up his name.
David Gorbachev.
He's just called David. I bet he wasn't Russian either. Yeah, the big fight. Sylvester Stallone, he's 5'9" in real life, and Drago's 6'6".
Is he that big?
6'6", yeah.
This is Dolph Lundgren's first role.
Was it? And when they're standing, I'm sure they make him look bigger than. I know he is taller than
6'6" to 5'9" quite a bit, though.
So he got this role. Basically, he was working in a theatre. He was at university. He's very clever guy, like chemistry and stuff like that,
Right.
masters or even PhD level. But he's working security in the theatre because of his so imposing physique, and he was guarding Grace Jones's door, and Grace Jones kind of went, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
basically, and invited him in, and they went a massive whirlwind romance, and she got him into the right people to kind
Right.
of get him famous.
Okay, so that's how we got to.
Yeah, like going into the premiere, no one knew who he was. Everyone was like, "Oh, Grace, can we have your photo?" Can we have-"
Yeah.
They watched the movie. Coming out of the movie, she got really pissed off because everyone was like, "Dolph, can we have a picture of you?"
Right.
And she's like, "Well, I'm the superstar here."
Yeah, yeah.
And that was this is all from this book, but that was the downward slope of their relationship because he got too famous. She didn't like it.
Was he? I'm going from memory here. Was he a kickboxer?
He karate and kickboxing, yeah.
And
So
boxer as well.
So he already had kind of like a lot of training, a lot of physical prowess, and
Yeah.
sent his photos off.
Ah.
And he was approved.
You can. I heard something the other day. When I say heard, read.
Right, yeah.
You just hear it walking about day to day. Stallone was imagined Schwarzenegger in this role.
Yes,
Yeah.
Right.
that's true.
That
yeah.
would have been. That'd have looked very different.
They had a lot of animosity
Yeah.
towards each other at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He'd have been a bit too big for a boxer, wouldn't he? Arnie?
it would look great.
Yeah.
It would look great.
Paulie gets emotional and then he says, now bust this guy's teeth out, doesn't he? Then we start the fight then, doesn't we?
Yeah, and you've got the complete flip. So obviously in the US, Drago was the underdog and was treated like no intro or anything like that, and everyone booing and shouting at him.
Yeah.
And it's the complete reversal. Rocky's now stood in the middle of the ring. Everyone's booing and shouting at him. Then their heroes' music kind of starts, and he walks in.
Rocky's son's at home watching it
on TV with his mates.
TV. And then Drago says,
I must break you.
and then Paulie says, remember what I said earlier about I want to be you? Yeah, forget about it now.
Thanks, Paulie.
Yeah.
So you don't want to hear that at that time.
That was again cut out of because that was I think the Into Infinity one a much more serious tone, so a lot of Paulie stuff was cut.
Right.
But I love that.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah.
It shows his complete lack of expertise.
Yeah.
As a cornerman.
Don't say that.
No.
Actually, I don't want to be you. You're going to get fucking.
He might have been
smacked down
feeling
here.
all right.
Yeah, I'm up for this. Why'd you say that for? Not bringing you again. It's Christmas, for God's sake. Drago starts quite strong on this one, doesn't he? And he's sort of.
Straight from the go. It's a mismatch.
Yeah, and I think the first round or something he says, I see three of them.
And this is where Paulie, even though it's supposed to be comic relief, he says something very, very smart. Because Duke kind of goes, yeah, you're actually right. If you see three of somebody, hit the one
in the middle.
He came out, didn't he? He came out. Drago came out pretty good.
Yeah.
And you had
He's
the
just
English.
trying to survive.
Yeah.
The English comedy. Yeah.
That's
David,
just.
It's like David and Goliath.
That's right. It was this like faux. It was like a documentary.
Yeah.
It was like an Attenborough documentary.
Yes, it was.
And it's always really confused me. Like,
Whereas, but all the world's media is supposed to be kind of gathered there. So you got the British commentary mixed in with the American. The Spanish and Japanese and all that.
And you had Rocky coming out, and he had a low guard, didn't he? And Dolph Lundgren was just throwing everything over the top of his guard.
But Dolph would beat him, wouldn't he? In real life, then.
Yeah.
Well, I know we mentioned earlier about Creed.
They would be in two different weight classes.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
They would be. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said yes definitively because Dolph was an actual. was an actual fighter.
Yeah.
That too.
But he gets cut, doesn't he? It's the
second round.
Yeah, all of a sudden. hello.
Yeah.
He is.
See, he's not a machine. He's human.
He's a man. Yeah.
If it bleeds, we can kill it. Wrong film.
Yeah.
Wrong film.
But basically.
Yeah.
He's cut. The Russian's cut, and it's a bad. Now I had two older brothers, so when we were growing up, we would act all of this out.
Right. Okay. Brilliant.
When Mum wasn't in the living room,
Dad
was at work or something like that. But we would always have that bit in.
Right.
Doof, 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 doof. And then one of us...
He's cut.
He's cut. The Russians cut them.
Your mum downstairs. What's going on up there? For God's sake!
Nothing.
Montage of rounds now, don't we? Rounds
so this is where the montage kind of
Yeah.
Minutes go up because this is classed as
and
montage.
15 rounds. So back in the day,
you never hear 15 rounds anymore.
It used to be, and it changed in certain years.
15 rounds, 15 3-minute rounds. It's insane.
I'm not sure what the year was, because I think in the mid 80s when I started watching boxing, it was down to 12.
Right.
Already.
I always remember being 12.
Yeah.
So 70s 100% was 15.
Jesus.
There was a change somewhere. I'd say late 70s
That's
to
45 minutes.
Early 80s. It's insane, isn't it? The level of conditioning.
And they go all the way, don't they? But basically to the last round.
Yeah.
And is it a left hook? Is that the right wording?
I don't know what round finished them off.
I know in the 15th round, Rocky lands a double right hook with a straight left hand.
Right.
And then the fight ends up stopping. There's a lot before that though, isn't there? Because you get the stuff after the cut.
They pull each other. They tackle each other to the ground.
Yeah.
They punch each other after the bell. Like what they do at each. You know.
That's it, and it's an absolute slugfest. So you got rounds 3, 4, and 5. Drago is just pummeling him with the right hands and body punches.
Yeah.
Then Rocky comes back in the 7th round with a lot of work to the body, which makes sense.
Yes, I noticed that.
Someone that big and of that stature. And then out of nowhere, you don't see it in any other Rocky film. Rocky throws this huge jumping, flashy uppercut like a Prince Nazim from the 1990s.
Yeah.
Which is a really sort of wild move.
Right, okay.
I thought, where's that come from? Yeah.
We have the energy to do it as
Just
well.
sort of come out of the blue. And then in round 12, Rocky starts getting some cheers from the Russian crowd.
Which that wouldn't happen.
That'd never happen, would it?
That would never happen. They'd be taken outside and shot.
How do you think Drago picking up that sort of minister of sport in the 15th round, picking him up by the neck would go nowadays?
Yeah, well, I'm guessing.
So I always thought that Bridget Nielsen shouted yes because she agreed, but actually she shouts niet, which is no in Russian.
Right, okay.
And I never picked it up until this time round. So she doesn't want him to do that.
Yeah.
But I always thought it was you get him.
Right.
And again, he's starting to go, I fight for me, not communism BS.
I agree. I always thought that as well, actually.
But she says niet.
Yes.
It means no in Russian.
But the more you look into, look at her character a little bit, she was, they introduced her then as a double Olympic gold medalist in swimming.
Yeah, that's it.
She was an absolute specimen in her own right.
Top of her game,
Yeah, I mean, wow. And then you get to see that she's probably more on the side of the sort of the Russian state than she is of actually Drago. And that plays out in later movies, doesn't it? In Creed, you get like an epilogue of what has happened between Drago and Ludmilla Drago. As a result of this,
there's a cut scene as well of Drago in a bar, just like drunk, beating up patrons because he's depressed about the loss.
Then we get this. So obviously we know Rocky wins. We get the speech, which is a little bit cheesy, isn't it?
Very cheesy.
And the speech goes like
Rocky solves, east-west tensions.
Yeah. The speech goes like,
I came here tonight. I didn't know what to expect. I seen a lot of people hating me, and I didn't know what to feel about that, so I guess I didn't like you much, none either. During this fight, I seen a lot of changing. The way you felt about me and the way I felt about you. In here, there were two guys killing each other. But I guess that's better than 20 million. So what I was trying to say is that if I can change,
Я думаю, что каждый тоже изменился сегодня.
And you can change.
Вы можете измениться.
Everybody can change.
Hearts on Fire, another freeze frame, and that is Rocky 4.
So again, 2 endings I watched.
Yep.
One ending, the Rocky versus Drago, the premier stands up, really pissed off, and they all leave. The second one I watched, they'll cut. The premier claps.
Yeah.
So 2 different endings.
The Gorbachev look-alike.
Gorbachev. Yeah. So again, like they're still having different visions for how this film should have gone. You know.
Yeah.
I read something saying that it actually was quite well received in Russia.
Really? I mean, there's...
And when I say I read something, ChatGPT told me that.
I do wonder, because they would have seen it, and it would be seen as a propaganda film, but they don't paint the Russians too bad, you know?
Yeah, because they're friendly, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're quite friendly.
Everyone kind of... Yeah, it ends in peace. You don't need a propaganda film.
No.
Stuff wouldn't end in peace.
And they turn up friendly.
Yeah.
The wives are getting on. Always a good thing. Things like that. Scott, was there a computer game for this film?
Not for Rocky 4, but there have been numerous Rocky computer games. There's one on the Master System, I remember, and you played, first of all Apollo, then against Clubber Lang, and then against Drago. Drago was like the final boss. There's a PS2 game, which was alright, and then there's one I've got on my Quest. It's called Creed, actually, but you can play as Creed, you can play as Apollo and his son. So you can play as Rocky, you can play as Drago, and you can fight all these people as well. And that's VR. So you can play VR too.
Nice.
There's probably 1 or 2 more, but that's the Rocky ones that I know of in my time.
Do we think Drago's the sort of the ultimate opponent out of all the Rocky films?
Yes, I do
think so.
actually. I do. Mason Dixon in Rocky Balboa. He's just the current world champion. There's nothing kind of almost superhuman.
Mr. T looked solid though, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He was imposing, wasn't he? But I'd fancy Drago.
It's just the idea that he's so tall and that he's genetically and chemically.
Well, what I liked about him was during the first few films, all the guys that Rocky fought were loud. I'm going to beat you. Drago was just quiet.
He's like the Terminator.
Yeah, quiet and sort of like
stoic.
Yeah, did his speaking in the ring sort of thing.
He had a black gum shield as well, didn't he?
Yes.
That was quite scary. You didn't see that too often.
Teeth are gone.
That's quite cool. Okay, memories then. Scott, you can start off.
I have Michael from Adelaide in Australia. All he says is, a bit of a cryptic one here, but I think I've worked this one out. Burning Heart is better than Eye of the Tiger. That's a hill I'm willing to die on.
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. Good. I love Burning Heart, but Eye of the Tiger is Rocky, isn't it?
Eye of the Tiger is Rocky 3.
Yeah,
I would say. For me, the song on this film is Hearts on Fire. That's my song for this film, if you were to ask me.
Rich, you got one?
I've got one from Michael Thomas Perrone, or Perrone, apologies, from Long Island.
Oh, we got to talk about him. Carry on.
First of all, this movie has the greatest film soundtrack of all time. Secondly, I remember visiting my cousins in Ohio when this movie came out, and my older cousin went to see it. When he came back, he excitedly told me about the scene when Rocky climbs a mountain and screams, "Drago!" at the top. But I had no idea what it meant. But it sounded awesome.
Cool. Nice.
So I'm just thinking then why I recognise Michael Thomas Perrone's name.
Yes, I know.
Because he commented on Stand By Me.
Yes, he messaged me in the week, actually.
Audiobook. Oh, he had a book coming out.
Yep.
And I actually downloaded his audiobook and listened to it. It's called Danger Peak. Good solid book. Kept me entertained in my car journeys to and from work. So
I let him know that you
that's a good book. Appreciate that.
Cool. Scott, you got another one?
Yeah. Remember that podcast from Australia again. Still have not seen Rocky.
Still not seen Rocky.
Is that so?
I guess they've never
haven't
seen
seen
Rocky.
any of them,
I
or they've
reckon.
seen them before, but not the first
probably
one.
Probably not any of them.
Tell us what you mean.
I reckon.
Remember that podcast or postcast?
Oh, that's my writing.
Would you start with the first one? Would you recommend that? if you're going to get into it?
Yeah, you got to go in order.
Yes. Even though watching it now, I'm getting Holly to watch it, and she was like,
You got to go in order.
"This is boring." I was like, "Come on, watch it."
Yeah.
I can see why she thought it was boring.
Yeah.
If you want to grip someone's attention, you'd probably go 4,
Yeah.
wouldn't you? But if you're kind of,
I have to
if you're
watch things
into
in
it,
order. Yeah.
you'd see the development of the characters and go.
I know we've done Rocky 4. It's our first Rocky film recording, but yeah, I think you've got to watch them in order. I think to watch them in order. Yeah. Richie, you got another one?
Yep, I've got Lucas from Norfolk.
Lucas Norfolk, yep.
I remember back in the day, everyone at school thinking Dolph was Russian. Me being from Sweden, knew he was of course Swedish. No one believed me when this film came out. Hopefully they do now. Love the podcast.
So true. No, he's definitely Russian.
Russian, yeah.
I remember arguing with someone because I watched Sliding Doors, and I swore Gwyneth Paltrow was English. No, she's English.
Yeah.
No, she's American.
Ask a film out, Sliding Doors. You got one more, Scott?
Mark Adler from Oxfordshire. Favourite line? I see 3 of them out there. Hit the one in the middle. Yeah, perfect.
That's
Excellent.
Mark Older.
Yes. You know Mark.
Yeah, I do.
Used to be
well enough to know it's Older, not Adler.
Older,
so
isn't
I'm just
it?
giving you a shout out there, Mark.
Yeah. Okay, we got any more?
Chris Rolls. Favourite line and scene? ? There's just too many to choose from.
Cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Good point. I can't tell you what my favourite. There's too much training montage to choose which bit.
And I've got the final one from Mark Beerlin. And he goes on to say, very much looking forward to this one, gents. I saw this at the Packed Cinema with my dad and brother. Rocky 4 is my favourite of the Rocky franchise.
Yeah.
And this is the one that kick-started my love affair of Rocky.
Yeah.
This one has a different vibe to the predecessors.
Yep.
The baby oil usage peaked along with all the training montages.
True.
I can't think there is another movie to complete with the soundtrack for your workout motivation.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say, Paul, you might want to consider this as you prepare for your marathon.
Oh.
Mr. Nelligan would be proud.
Mr. Nelligan.
He was our old teacher.
I remember Mr. Nelligan.
There isn't much I didn't enjoy about this film, apart from the death of Apollo. If he dies, he dies. Oof. Keep up the terrific work, gents. Thanks for that, Mark. And we've got 2 voice messages, one from Eddie Cox and one from a young Rocky fan called Ronnie. Let's play those messages.
Hello, the 3 retro movie geeks. Hello again. So my favourite part of Rocky 4, one of my favourite parts, other than the music, the music I think is the best soundtrack out of all the Rocky films. Forget Eye of the Tiger. I know it's iconic, but in Rocky 4 you've got Living in America, Hearts on Fire, Burning Heart, No Easy Way Out, the training montage song. I don't know if it's called the training montage song, but it's that song from the training montage. I just think that the soundtrack's incredible. I'm not from the 80s, I was born in the 90s, but it's got such all them songs have got such an 80s sound to them. I'm sure you know what I mean. They just sound so 80s. I think the music's incredible. As for my favourite scene, it's one of my favourite scenes. It's probably a second long. It's towards the end of the final round where Rocky's getting knocked around the ring by Ivan Drago, and Rocky starts to make a bit of a comeback. He starts to land a few shots, and it cuts to, for a split second, to Paulie. He's got hold of Tony's head, and he's just screaming and just wobbling Tony's head. And I forget about the scene every time. But every time I go back and watch Rocky 4, it catches me out, and it absolutely cracks me up. It's brilliant. You might not even notice it. I'm sure a lot of people just miss that scene, but to me, it's so funny.
Hi, I'm Ronnie Monahan. I'm 11 years old from Stamford in the Vale, and I'm a Rocky fan. My top 2 favourite scenes in Rocky 4 when Rocky is training in the snow for his big fight, and the big fight itself when Rocky gets revenge for Apollo Creed.
And thanks for those 2 messages, guys. Yeah, that was funny.
Cheers, guys.
Eddie's one about the waving his hand over the... I thought that was quite funny.
Oh, Paulie rubbing the trainer's head when he gets excited. Yeah, I've got a friend who we both know, who we go out with now and again. Stig, shout out to Stig.
Andrew Groom, yeah,
aka Predator. He's not a predator as in
cancer. He does a predator impression.
Yeah. And again, not a predator impression.
The film. Keep digging.
And if we go out, even now, if he gets a little bit excited or someone's winning or doing something good, he will get my head and shake it like Paulie does in the movie when he gets excited. So your young listener here, what a legend for
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Ronnie, thanks for that. It's good to have someone younger who appreciates the 80s movies and the Rocky fan as well. So thank you, Ronnie, for that one. Right, we better get in the ring and do a quiz. Quiz time. Okay, quiz then. So it's 1-0 to Scott.
No, you missed a trick now. Round 1.
Okay, yes. Okay, we'll go into that again. Okay, round 1.
Can you do
quiz? Yeah.
This is the last round. You've got the English guy says that.
Does he say
again,
it?
Yeah,
okay.
After like the nature documentary guy says that. It's always stuck in my mind.
Okay, I should have done that one.
This is the last round.
Okay, round 1 then. Do you get that?
I do. Brilliant.
Because it's boxing. Good idea from me, that. Okay, question is, Rocky gave Adrian a gift for their anniversary. What was the gift? Scott?
It was a watch.
It was a watch.
Bracelet watch.
Yeah. Don't worry, Rich. He normally beats Paul in every episode as well. So. Question 2. It was just coming up to their anniversary. What year anniversary was it?
9.
It was 9.
Yes!
3-0. He's got you on the ropes.
Did you do round 2, by the way?
Oh yeah, round 2.
Oh.
Sorry. Round 3.
Yeah, here we go.
So round 3 is question 3. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm not sure the buzzers were.
Paul has this problem. Round 3. Okay. Paulie made a wish on his birthday. What did he wish for? Scott?
Sports car.
No, he said, I wish something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I see what you mean.
No.
He said, I wish I wasn't in this nightmare. Oh. Round 4.
Ding ding.
We see a poster of Drago near the beginning of the film. What did it say on it? It's quite a tough question, this. So when it shows that he's arrived.
Is it like the top front of a magazine or something like that?
Yeah.
God.
No.
No.
Russians invade US sports.
Right.
What military rank was Drago? Rich.
I think commander.
No.
Captain.
Oh.
We got there in the end. round 6.
I'm starting to throw haymakers in just wildly now.
Round 6. What's on Rocky's license plate? Number plate. Rich.
Southpaw.
Correct.
Oh yes, it is. Do you know what? I memorised the Russian car's number plate.
And above it and below it says, you've got a friend in Pennsylvania as well. But Southpaw was the answer I was looking for. Round 7. Apollo has retired more men than what?
Social Security.
Social Security, yeah.
Very good.
5-1. 2 points up for grabs here. Tough one. Name the 2 commentators on the Apollo and Drago fight.
No. I did remember that, thinking it's like he's going to ask that and say even if he does ask that, I can't be able to memorise those.
Stu Nahan and Warner Wolf. That's quite tough.
Warner Wolf.
Round 9. Another 2 points up for grabs. Name the 2 commentators on the Rocky fight.
Larry something.
Close. His mate. Barry Tompkins and Al Bandero. Round number 10. I've actually got 11. I should have done 12, shouldn't I, for round? Actually 15, never mind. Anyway. Round 10. Rocky says to Apollo, firstly, the first thing you should get, Apollo, is a what?
Word. Do you not know?
Go.
A ladder.
A ladder, yeah.
Yeah.
If they take it as an insult, I said, that's not an insult, he's just saying he's tall.
Yeah, he's tall, yeah. Final question, round 11. Finish the line. He's not human. He's like a... Rich.
Piece of iron.
Piece of iron, yeah, well done.
He's cut.
Well done. 6-2.
It's the first time Drago appears to show him any sign of respect or anything like that.
Right.
So it's just like really nice to see.
Right. That wraps it all up. Remember, we are on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube, and give us a 5-star rating wherever you listen to our podcast, please. Have you got any shout outs you might want to just say hello to?
No.
Rich, you want to do a shout out to anyone?
No, I think I've given a couple, haven't I?
Yeah,
organically.
Yeah. Okay, I got a couple. Just want to say thanks for the 2 voice messages that people got involved with. Thank you to Eddie and Ronnie. I've got to mention, Paul's told us to make sure we mention his marathon and sponsorship. He wants some sponsors, please, because he's running for the charity, Make-A-Wish Foundation, and that's on our Instagram page. You can get all the details from that. Rich, I've got you a little gift. Hold on.
Oh, thank you.
Stand up and get it. Come back. And we've signed it.
Oh, wow.
It's a little Rocky...
That's fantastic.
Funko Pop.
Funko Pop, there you go. Little Rocky one. We've all signed it. And thank you very much for joining us on the podcast.
Much.
Cheers.
It's been a pleasure, guys.
It's been great. Great having you on.
I didn't sign that.
No, you're going to sign it. I didn't get it. Only came yesterday and I hadn't seen you, so we will all sign it. Well, I've signed it. There we go. Join us next time. It'll be our 2nd birthday episode. We don't know what we're doing yet. Could be Beverly Hills Cop, couldn't it?
It's a great 80s movie.
That's been on the cards for a while, so we might do that for our 2nd birthday.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's been awesome watching your channel grow, actually.
Oh, thanks very much.
Watched it from the first episode.
Yeah, 2 years ago, Ghostbusters.
Seems to sort of getting better and better all the time.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Until this one, obviously.
We're all off to find one of these sex robots now, aren't we?
No, you are.
No. Keep it retro.